A political marriage drags her into hell, a girl who experiences countless deaths. After realizing the gods cannot hear her prayers, she begins to fight back with her frail body. Years later, she turns hell upside down with overwhelming force. Alicia Sirius Lane was born as the youngest daughter of the Marquise Lane family after 200 years, yet as an illegitimate child, she became the most fragile caged bird in a greenhouse. From childhood, she was confined to the house. Books were her only companions. Even breathing outside air became a luxury. Beneath the halo of a noble lady, she had already seen her fate clearly. She was merely a tool for political marriage to maintain the family's prosperity. She survived only because she was a girl who could be traded. In her 17th year, her marriage contract arrived as expected. The groom was Gregory, son of Count Barker, who holds real power in the north. This seemingly perfect political marriage was shattered when Gregory was caught in adultery. Gregory received punishment through a duel. Though he survived, he became a broken man. The House of Rain announced the annulment of the engagement, but the Barker family refused to accept it. Thus, an 8-year legal battle dragged on and consumed Alicia's youth. By the time the Rain family won the case, Alicia was already 25, long past the marriageable age for a noble lady. But her father's arrangements never failed to arrive. This time, her marriage partner became Archduke Tessen, the man who controlled the western border, ruler of the land of gold and death. He was also the emperor's half-brother, with another title, the serial killer of the archduchesses, because his previous 6 wives had all died unexpectedly without exception, before or after marriage. Even Alicia, who never left the house, had heard those chilling rumors. So marrying Ricard was tantamount to a death sentence. She clenches her skirt and wants to shout, "I don't want to marry, I don't want to die!" But in the end, her voice dies under her father's cold gaze. Her wishes have never mattered. Rain pours down in torrents. The maid Daisy quietly brushes her hair. Then suddenly, her words, "My lady, don't marry," break the silence. After speaking, she quickly covers her mouth and apologizes. Alicia only replies softly, "It's fine. Leave me alone for a while." Ricard's efficiency is astonishingly fast. Chests full of gem betrothal gifts and marriage documents have already arrived in her room. The expensive gems announce their owner's wealth. At this moment, Alicia notices an ancient pendant in the corner. She picks it up and discovers it's a pocket watch. The instant she opens the pocket watch, darkness suddenly swallows everything around her. Space begins to twist and collapse. Alicia falls weightlessly. When she wakes again, only endless darkness envelops her. Water drops fall on her cheek. A strange slippery sensation comes from her fingertips. She wonders, what is this? Suddenly, a strange sound comes from behind. She stiffly turns her head and sees the most terrifying sight of her life. Year 350 of the Benedict calendar. Alicia Sirius Lane falls into hell, behind the rocks. Alicia, with a dirt-covered face, holds her breath until the monster's heavy snoring begins. She knows her only chance to escape has come. The day she fell into this hell, she dies. No, she should say she died. In the past, even a small wound took her a week to heal. But now, even if her body is torn apart, it recovers within a day. Immortality sounds like a blessing, but now for Alicia, it's the cruelest curse. Facing endless torment, she cannot even seek death. At first, she constantly begged the monsters, "Please, let me live." But death after death fills her with overwhelming rage. What did I do wrong to be treated like this? She tries to resist but is torn apart by monsters repeatedly. Alicia decides to try escaping. She clenches her fists. Even if hope is slim, she doesn't want to remain trapped in this cycle of pain. She must escape this horrifying hell. Then she runs frantically toward the cave opening. She uses every ounce of strength and dares not stop for a moment. When light from the opening pierces the darkness, and she thinks she can finally escape, the next second, cold claws viciously drag her back into hell. She can't remember how many times she has died, until even pain becomes numb, and sound of being gnawed echoes from her body. She thinks mockingly that she has failed again this time. She becomes a hunting practice target for the small monsters. They don't kill her with one strike. They only gnaw at her body bit by bit, making her feel every inch of flesh being torn. In a daze, she remembers the marriage contract with Ricard Tessen, that serial killer of archduchesses. If he knew she now had been immortal, would he beg to marry her? After all, she's the perfect bride who could help him shed his killer reputation. Intense pain pulls back her thoughts. Today the monsters are gnawing especially slowly, but the thing is, she's terrified of pain. Alicia suddenly freezes. Since she hates the pain, why not just kill them first? Ironically, she only realizes something so simple now. Everything changes from that moment. The sharp, hard bones on the ground become her weapons. Monsters can die, but she cannot. This battle's outcome is determined from the start. She starts by killing the weakest monsters, one after another. She keeps dying and keeps reviving. Each time she's torn apart makes her next attack faster and more brutal, until one day she finally thrusts the bone deep into the mouth of the fiercest monster. When Alicia finds the pocket watch she hid, she discovers only 20 days have passed. Yet it feels like years to her. How many times has she died? She vents frantically at the monster's remains, roaring, "You bastards! You insatiable monsters! Tearing someone apart alive, do you know how much that hurts?" The remains she crushes suddenly glow with light. A yellow crystal stone rolls out. She bends down to pick it up, lifts it to her eyes and examines it carefully. What is this? In the real world, a cufflink emits the same glow. The carriage from the Rain family has just arrived at the Tessen territory. An attendant reports that the young lady of the Rain family has disappeared. Ricard curls his lips into a mocking smile. Disappeared? A boring play on words, but his expression is not as indifferent as his tone, instead frighteningly grave. Whether she fled the marriage or truly disappeared, she cannot escape death. No one knows that in the depths of hell. A girl is leaping from a great height. The spear in her hand aims straight at the monster below. Its cold gleam is piercing. Year 358 of the Benedict calendar. Alicia has survived in hell. After slaying a monster, she habitually bends down to collect her spoils. An unknown creature hides in the distance. The instant she finds the magical stone, he launches a sneak attack. But unexpectedly, his attack misses. Alicia flips and leaps up smoothly. She presses both hands on his head and delivers a brutal knee strike. How dare you touch my prey? The man is kicked dozens of meters away. She closes in step by step. Even in the hell, stealing deserves punishment. Only now does the man panic. Please spare me, Alicia freezes. The monster can talk? The man who barely saved his life immediately kneels on the ground, apologizing frantically and saying he'll offer all his magical stones to her. Please spare my life. I'll never set foot here again. This is the first time Alicia has encountered a being she can communicate with here. Do you know where this is? West Alex. At this moment, she learns that the hell where she spent 8 years actually has a name. Her previous knowledge of this place came only from books she'd read in the past. Crimson sky, land shrouded in darkness, cracked black rocks. Within it, even breathing feels like burning. She tosses out the magical stone she just obtained and asks the man what these are. Because the magical stones she gets from monsters are amazing. After consuming them, her body becomes stronger. These are magical stones containing magical energy. You just toss them on the ground so casually? Alicia is puzzled. Are they valuable? You don't know how rare they are. These are the largest magical stones I've ever seen. Probably they are close to the Lord tier. He thinks greedily that if he could obtain these magical stones, he could become much stronger. They're yours. Her words leave him stunned. What? I said these are yours. He shows an expression of disbelief. Really? Of course. But you need to answer a few questions first. From him, Alicia learns that magical stones are condensed carriers of magical energy. To obtain stronger magical stones, she cannot simply hunt ordinary monsters. She must find demons granted with intelligence. They can control magical energy and grow stronger by absorbing energy from their own kind. And the strongest in all of hell are the 4 great demons. So Alicia goes to the territory of the Western Demon, the closest to her. As the castle gates slowly open, a voice sounds, "Seeker, welcome to West Alex Castle. I am the Western Lord Alex." Before he finishes speaking, Alicia hurls her spear. The spearhead pierces straight through his skull. Her expression is cold. "I have no interest in your introduction." The demon transforms into a massive magical stone, larger and purer than any she's seen before, which puts her in a good mood. So which direction next? North or south? She shatters the magical stone with her spear and prepares to absorb the energy. But she suddenly freezes because the feeling is identical to when she first fell into hell. Wait, she hasn't finished absorbing the magical energy. When Alicia opens her eyes again, she finds herself back in her own bedroom. The moment she lifts her head, she freezes instantly. Then she rushes to the mirror. Looking at the obviously younger face in the mirror, she's too shocked to speak. How did I become younger? At this moment, pain from her ankle brings her back to her senses. When did she twist it? In fact, not only has she become younger, even the power she gained in hell has disappeared. It's as if time has reversed, but that was power she worked so hard collecting magical stones to obtain. "My lady, it's Daisy. May I come in now?" From Daisy, Alicia learns she has returned to 17 years old. For a moment, she doesn't know whether to be happy or sad. Her weak body, combined with the enormous shock, makes her vision go black. She faints again. When she awakens, a lady is already sitting by the bed. Alicia murmurs, "I'm thirsty." The Marchioness immediately hands her water. Her voice carries concern. Alicia drinks slowly. "You haven't recovered yet. I heard you suddenly fainted. I was very worried." Alicia is still dazed, replying, "Thank you, mother." The address stuns the Marchioness instantly, because Alicia is not her biological daughter. When she learned her husband was bringing back an illegitimate daughter, she angrily went to find that illegitimate child. Just when everyone thought she would vent her anger on Alicia, she crouched down and smiled warmly. "Hello, you're Alicia, right? I'm your mother." But back then, Alicia had already been filled with the idea by maids that the Marchioness was terrifying. "You must remember that nothing here belongs to you. You must never step out of line." So she hid behind the maid. But the Marchioness didn't get angry at her rudeness. Instead, she smiled more gently. "Did I come too suddenly? I'm sorry. I was just so happy." Back then, Alicia clearly liked this gentle, beautiful woman, yet she never dared to respond. And guilt toward the Marchioness gradually overwhelmed her, because her existence was proof of father's adultery. Only after falling into hell does she regret her cowardice again and again. "Mother, please give me another cup of water." "Of course, mother will get it for you right away. Do you need anything else? I'll prepare everything for you. You are quite weak now. Should I get some herbs for you?" Alicia gently touches her hand. "Mother, is my engagement partner Gregory from the Barker family?" The Marchioness shows a surprised expression. "How did you know? Honestly, I really dislike Gregory." Alicia thinks to herself. Though agreements between nobles are very important, their engagement ceremony hasn't been held yet, so perhaps there's still hope. The Marchioness softly replies, I understand. Leave it to me. I don't like Gregory either. He always reminds me of your father when he was young, though they don't resemble each other in appearance or personality. The Marchioness gently hugs her. My darling, just trust mother. I will never let you be forced into a marriage you don't want. In the evening, Alicia runs rapidly. She forcefully pushes open her father's office door. Release my mother immediately. The Marquise pauses. Barging in my room without even having the butler announce you? Where are your manners? Alicia, go back to your room immediately. But this time, Alicia doesn't back down. Is that what you should say after confining the lady of the house? Marquis Valdemar Rain! The Marquis lowers his voice to warn her. Watch what you say. Your mother is simply resting because she's unwell. But Alicia retorts with a mocking tone. How ridiculous. Mother was clearly confined because she opposed my engagement. You even dare to confine the lady of this house. And you're afraid of others hearing? The Marquis shouts angrily. Enough! Shut up! But Alicia steps closer, her eyes glinting coldly. What do you think people would say if Marquise Rain's daughter smashed her fiancé's head with a hammer at the engagement ceremony? Her words completely ignites his fury. Are you threatening me? He raises his hand and slaps Alicia across the face. She's knocked to the side, but a cold smile curls at her lips. Threatening? I want to do that right now. I'm just holding back. The Marquis stares at her, feeling a chill down his spine, because her eyes don't look like those of an ordinary noble lady, but rather like a warrior who has witnessed countless deaths on the battlefield. From the moment Alicia barged in, he felt something was off. His usually obedient and submissive daughter is now not only making a scene in his office, but also dares to glare at him like this. But he quickly reassures himself that she's just having a teenage tantrum. How could someone who used to tremble with fear when talking to him suddenly change? Finally, he only says coldly, go to your room and reflect. Since this is your first offense, I won't punish you. Alicia's tone is full of indifference, so what? Her attitude shocks Harry, her second brother who just entered. You can't even enter the main building anymore. Aren't you worried? Worried about what? Not having to see that guy actually makes me more comfortable. Then she changes the subject. What about mother? She can move freely now, but she can't come to the South Wing. She wanted to come see you, but our eldest brother persuaded her not to. He was afraid mother and father would argue again. Alicia seems thoughtful. Brother Felix has it hard too. So now you've seen my situation. You can go back and report to mother. That's why you came here, isn't it? No. Alicia, I came because I was worried about you. Alicia freezes. Are we that close? Her words hit Harry hard. He forces a smile. You might not realize this, but I actually care quite a bit about my only sister. Alicia feels strange inside. He actually cares about her, but this feeling seems pretty nice. She once thought her brothers would dislike her because of her illegitimate status. The corners of her mouth lift slightly. It's so good to be back. Harry tells her that her marriage is almost finalized, only awaiting royal approval and official announcement. When he asks if she really hates this marriage so much, Alicia doesn't answer. Instead, she brings up the past. Do you remember my debut in society? I fell in the ballroom, which made me the laughingstock of that evening's banquet. In fact, no one really cared about me. I just needed to get up immediately. But someone led the mockery of me. That person was Gregory. My first appearance in life was ruined like that. Hearing this, Harry's smile instantly disappears. If I went and killed him right now, would you feel better? No need. I stopped caring long ago. But thank you. But the more she lets it go, the stronger Harry's murderous intent toward Gregory becomes. Since I can't kill him, how about dueling him? I can at least break one of his legs. At this moment, Alicia suddenly takes out a letter. Harry is puzzled. What's this? Please help me deliver this to Archduke Tessen. His pupils shrink sharply. What are you trying to do? She smiles mysteriously. Please deliver it to him secretly. You'll help me, won't you? A few days later, the Tessen territory. Ricard receives a strange letter. The details of his marital status have never been public because they are a royal secret, but the letter warns him that his potential fiancée has a weak body and is in danger. The Archduke's residence couldn't have leaked information. The imperial family hasn't made it public either. So where on earth did the information in this letter come from? Ricard looks at the letter and says in a deep voice, Henrik, stay here. Roderick, come with me out of the territory. Roderick is astonished. Your Grace, are you going to meet this person called Sirius? Ricard taps the address on the letter. They specified a location, so they want me to meet them, don't they? Keep the entourage to a minimum. Roderick wants to persuade him further, but Ricard directly orders them to leave. After they leave, Ricard stares at the elegant yet striking pattern on the letter and murmurs softly, Sirius, who are you really? Meanwhile, far away at the House of Rain, Alicia gazes out the window. The letter should have been delivered by now, right? She must act before those tragedies from her previous life occur and pull everything back on track. A few days later, Alicia borrows a carriage from Mother, but just as they near their destination, the carriage suddenly shakes violently. After just a few jolts, a severe headache suddenly strikes her. She never experienced this in hell. Is she this weak now? The next instant, she senses someone approaching. Daisy looks out the window alertly. I'll go out and check. Alicia is about to stop her, when suddenly something flies through the air. Daisy falls to the ground. Alicia hurriedly supports her and finds she's still breathing. Soon, she discovers a poison needle in Daisy's neck. It has the scent of cinnamon and cypress. And there's only one poison with this scent. It shouldn't be here, she murmurs. Musto. At this moment, the carriage door is suddenly pulled open. A knight steps into the carriage and tells Alicia, she's only asleep. There's no danger to her life. Please don't worry. The knight picks up Daisy, and the man who initially opened the door says, please step out of the carriage, Lady Alicia. Or should I call you Sirius? His hair is like molten gold. His skin is pale as snow, his pupils clear as crystal. He indeed doesn't inherit any of the royal traits, but neither does he look as fierce as people say. As Alicia observes him, Ricard is also scrutinizing her, thinking she looks frail and timid. He can hardly imagine this is the woman who sent him the letter. Thinking of this, he speaks first. I heard you has a heart condition, Lady Alicia. Alicia smiles. As expected, he did investigate her. After all, her physical condition wouldn't allow her to reach the Tessen territory without falling ill halfway, and only her direct relatives knows this information. Ricard extends his hand to help her down, but she lifts her skirt and jumps down on her own. The meeting place specified in the letter isn't here. It's a bit further ahead. Feeling being ignored, Ricard clenches his fist. Rumor has it that the young lady of the Rain family is shy and timid, but the person before him is the complete opposite. He walks past her and asks why she chose to meet here. Because I need to confirm something. The stone circle of Dolor is a sundial. Daytime represents life, nightfall represents death. After sunrise, non-human beings cannot enter. Your Grace, have you entered here before? It's my first time. What about you? Alicia pauses. Me too. Ricard walks past her toward the stone circle. Seeing she doesn't follow, he stops. Aren't you coming in? Hearing her tell him to go in first, a trace of doubt flashes in his eyes. He doesn't understand what she's planning. Is there a trap here? Alicia's reason for stopping is simply because she thinks she cannot enter. Seeing Ricard walk into the circle without hesitation, her tone carries a hint of envy. Your Grace, you are human. Aren't you afraid? They say if you can't take even one step inside, it means you're not human. To Ricard, her words take on a different meaning. He mistakenly thinks she believes those rumors that he's a demon. What's there to fear? They're just stones. In fact, since returning from hell, Alicia has never verified one thing. If the hell truly exists, then having fallen into the hell and returned from there, is she still human? Or has she become a monster? As she steps into the circle, her anxious heart finally settles. She smiles brilliantly. It seems I'm human too. Ricard thinks she's truly strange. Thanks to you, I've clarified something I've always wanted to confirm. Alicia suddenly realizes they're standing too close. She quickly steps back. I should formally introduce myself first. I'm the one who sent you the letter. Alicia Sirius Lane. I know. You're the daughter of Marquise Rain. Since you know, that makes things easier. She suddenly kneels on one knee. Archduke Ricard Tessen, please marry me. Her expression is both serious and expectant, but Ricard only feels he's been played. You're not just a strange woman. You're completely insane. But Alicia remains calm. You may have many questions, but I can guarantee you won't suffer any loss. Ricard interrupts her. You think I came here to listen to this nonsense? What a waste of my time. Wait, you haven't even heard my proposal. Aren't you curious how I knew about the imperial marriage? But Ricard still doesn't turn back. Not curious. At this moment, he suddenly stops, and his face changes dramatically. It's not yet the cycle for the curse to strike. Could it be because he's too far from the territory? Intense pain and deafening noise suddenly flood his mind. He needs to get back quickly. Your Grace, what's wrong? Alicia reaches out to support him, but he pushes her away forcefully. Don't touch me! He gasps heavily and forces out through gritted teeth. I'm fine. His repeated rejections instead ignite Alicia's temper. She steps forward and grabs his hand. I'm just trying to help you back to the carriage. The instant their hands touch, Ricard's world falls silent. The noise in his head completely disappears. Alicia sees him freeze in place, and thinks he's angry again because she grabbed his hand without permission. Thinking this, she prepares to let go, but Ricard suddenly grips her hand tightly and pulls her close to him. Don't let go. Alicia is stunned, so they sit together holding hands in this inexplicable way. She's confused. Do we have to talk like this? Ricard's face is gloomy yet tinged with embarrassment. Yes, this is the condition for our conversation. After saying this, he feels it's too embarrassing, covers his face and says, so what exactly do you want me to do? Alicia smiles cunningly. Please marry me. If you agree, I'll predict the future for you 4 times a year. But Tessen doesn't believe she can know the future. Facing his doubt, she only smiles faintly. Didn't you come here specifically because everything I said in the letter was correct? This is indeed true, and Ricard has roughly guessed her purpose. Who do you need me to get rid of? Gregory from the Barker family? Tessen falls silent, though severing ties with the Barker family would cost him considerably. This woman before him holds clues to his curse. This deal is already advantageous to him. He immediately agrees, though we can't marry right away, we can get engaged first. It's enough for you to sever ties with the Barker family. I'll treat you well as the future Archduchess. Besides this, do you need anything else? Alicia thinks. Nothing else. I trust you can prepare everything. But let me say in advance, I'm very greedy, Ricard responds. I'll remember that. So, since we finished our discussion, can you let go of my hand now? Ricard releases her hand. The success of her plan puts Alicia in high spirits, then, I look forward to working with you, Your Grace. Ricard looks at her and responds, likewise, I'm looking forward to it. Soon after, news of Alicia and Ricard's engagement spreads throughout the empire. I heard Archduke Tessen fell in love at first sight with that young lady from the north. He even gave her the Illegitimate villa, the most magnificent castle in his territory, and the strategic Echeveria territory connecting the capital and the south as gifts. At this moment, the rumored heroine is training. Without the boost from magical stones, her strength recovery is still too slow. At this moment, a voice comes from behind. Alicia, is this real? Harry rushes into the training ground holding a newspaper. The headline is particularly eye-catching. Lady Alicia to become Countess of Echeveria. She didn't expect the news to spread so quickly, nor did she expect Ricard's efficiency to be so strong. And he even went all out with such grandeur. Yet she's also the protagonist. Why does the newspaper only talk about Ricard? That's because you're hardly known in society. Wait, that's not the point. What have you been doing these past few days? At this moment, a servant leads a fine horse over, my lady. The horse you requested is ready. Seeing her eyes light up, Harry asks, You've never learned to ride before, have you? Alicia doesn't answer but runs toward the horse and smoothly mounts it. Of course I have, though she silently adds to herself, although it was in hell. Harry feels he understands his youngest sister less and less. Alicia suddenly turns back. It seems you have to go. As soon as she finishes speaking, a servant hurries over and informs Harry he must return to the main building immediately. While speaking, he glances at Alicia and deliberately lowers his voice. I can't explain here. Please go back first. Alicia thinks it must be something important. Sorry, Alicia. It seems I have to leave. I'll come back as soon as I can. Don't cause any trouble in the meantime. She says goodbye with a smile. After Harry leaves, she yanks the reins and turns around. She takes a deep breath. When she first returned, she wasn't adapted to this body and almost jumped from upstairs. If the maids hadn't pulled her back in time, her legs would have broken. She remembers how to fight. Those experiences are etched into her bones, but her body's limits are clearly before her. No matter how she trains, she can barely break through. But so far, her condition is fairly good. She easily leaps and maneuvers through the trees, moving as lightly as a bird. Since returning from the hell, what she most wants to regain are the magical stones. The strength in her arms is still insufficient. Effort alone can never achieve the effects granted by the stones. At this moment, a shadow falls over her. It's Ricard. Is this how the Rain family trains? Alicia quickly gets up. Her tone carries some surprise. Why are you here? Ricard extends his hand to her. I'm here for the title conferment ceremony. The instant their hands touch, Alicia suddenly freezes because she notices a yellow gem on his cufflink. Hearing him ask what she was doing just now, she stands up abruptly. Nothing, just exercising casually. Ricard's hand stops awkwardly in midair. His voice seems tinged with dissatisfaction. So the special training that most of the knights can't complete is just casual practice for you? Stop! Can we drop this topic? Seeing her change the subject again, Ricard feels somewhat helpless but doesn't press further. First, remove the leaves from your head. Here or here? He sighs. Please forgive my rudeness. Then he reaches out to remove the leaves for her. That's better now. But the next second, seeing Alicia suddenly lean close, he panics and steps back, not noticing the steps beneath him. He falls backward. Alicia lands in his embrace. She murmurs, I thought I was seeing things. She grips his hand as if afraid he'll escape. Ricard is completely flustered. Lady Alicia, please let me go. But unexpectedly, just as she releases him, she grabs his wrist instead. Your Grace, can you give me this cufflink? She definitely didn't see wrong. There's a magical stone embedded in it. Hearing this, Ricard instantly calms down. I'm sorry, but this is a family heirloom, so I cannot give it to you. Alicia raises her eyebrows skeptically. Just as she's considering whether to just snatch it, she hears Ricard speak again. Please get up first. He turns his face slightly, a shy blush spreading from his cheeks to his ears. Alicia jumps back as if burned, apologizing repeatedly. Ricard straightens the clothes she disheveled. It's fine. Though I can't give you this cufflink, there should be similar gems in the territory. I'll find them and give them to you as a gift next time. Hearing there are other magical stones, Alicia immediately abandons the idea of snatching it. She catches up to Ricard, her tone cheerful. In that case, I'll give you a gift in return. There will be no snow this winter, but from the last week of March to early April, there will be a massive blizzard. Hearing this, Ricard stops abruptly. Is that true? He rapidly calculates internally. March is early spring, and if snow falls then, many people in the territory will surely freeze to death, so they must prepare in advance. Alicia nods with a smile. Just consider it a gift. It won't count toward the number of predictions, though her words sound absurd for some reason. Watching her confident expression, he has a strong premonition that everything she says will come true. He thanks her solemnly. I haven't even given you the gems yet. Thanks to you, we should be able to reduce losses in the territory this time. Soon, they've returned to the residence. The entrance is already crowded with people. Roderick quickly steps forward. Your Grace, this is what you asked to be prepared. Ricard bows slightly. Lady Alicia, I have something for you. At this moment, the butler from the Rain family suddenly interrupts. Your Grace, Lord Felix is waiting for you in the main building. Alicia quietly asks Ricard if he came to the annex first. Ricard explains he came to see her. From the beginning, he never intended to meet the other members of the Rain family. He looks sharply at everyone. Everyone, leave now. As Daisy leaves, Alicia signals her to lead the horse back. At this moment, a voice suddenly comes from behind her. They have left. Finally, it's my turn. Speaking, Ricard opens the box Roderick gave him. Inside is a complete set of magnificent jewelry. This is the ruby jewelry of Duchess Marguerite. Wait, these aren't for me, are they? Ricard responds and explains that the ruby jewelry of Duchess Marguerite has always been paired with the Countess of Echeverria. So when you need to wear formal attire for important occasions, you can wear it. Alicia doesn't stand on ceremony with him. I'll use it well. Ricard is amused by her serious manner, but he quickly becomes serious again. How much do you know about the imperial family? Alicia does know something about this. The late emperor, including the current emperor, had 5 princes and 1 princess in total. The second prince died in an accident 7 years ago. The third prince is Duke Lennox, and the fourth prince is Count Estevna. The fifth prince is Archduke Tessen, and the only princess, Louise, is his sister from the same mother. Well, you know the basic common knowledge. Don't judge by my appearance, I love reading. Later, the royal family will send teachers to teach you other knowledge. However, Lady Alicia, your unique hobby is best kept hidden. Alicia readily agrees. After finishing business, they prepare to say goodbye. Then I'll see you at the title conferment ceremony. After confirming the dress color, I'll send someone to notify you. Ricard suddenly leans close to her, almost against her cheek, and says something in an extremely low voice. Alicia freezes. Really? Yes! I saw it with my own eyes. After saying this, he mounts his horse. I hope this helps you. He arrives like a sudden rain and leaves as quickly as the wind. Though his arrival startled her, she feels he's much better than the rumors suggest. At this moment, the servants who left earlier suddenly rush out. They all talk at once, my lady. When did you become so close with Archduke Tessen? How did you meet him? These people clearly didn't dare say a word just now. So Alicia roars, except for Daisy, everyone go back. She tells Daisy to pack immediately and prepare to depart for Echeverria territory, because Ricard told her great news. Marquise Rain temporarily cannot return, because he protested the annulment of the engagement with the Barker family and angered the emperor, so he's been placed under house arrest. And Alicia can take this opportunity to leave home and do what she wants. When Marquise Rain rushes home in a fury to settle accounts with Alicia, he only receives news that she has already left home. In stark contrast to his rage, the Marchioness radiates a joyful aura. You mean Alicia? She went to Echeverria territory? The Marquis, who was under house arrest in the palace for several days, asks his wife in confusion what happened. The Marchioness responds calmly. That child left a letter saying she wanted to see her newly granted territory. Is this proper? Why didn't you stop her? The Marchioness didn't expect him to be so unreasonable. She first freezes, then smiles contemptuously. I can't even enter the south wing. How could I stop her? Only now does the Marquis notice his wife's unusual behavior. Marina, you didn't do this on purpose, did you? Just because of that matter. The Marchioness indicates she's only stating facts. That child has never actively asked for anything in 17 years. This is the first time. You should stop too. Don't treat children as tools for the family. The Marquis rises abruptly. Enough. This conversation ends here. As a member of the Rain family, it is their obligation to contribute to the family. I'll send someone to bring her back. After she returns, you can enter and leave the south wing as you wish, watching his departing back. The Marchioness finally relaxes. She should have bought Alicia a bit more time. She just doesn't know where she is now. No one expected that Alicia, who should be heading to her territory, is actually in the capital. Ricard has arranged an etiquette teacher from the imperial family and accommodations for her. Daisy is full of confusion, my lady. Weren't you going to Echeverria? Alicia chuckles and shakes her head. The title conferment ceremony is imminent. How could I really go to the territory? Daisy, let's go shopping first. The so-called trip to Echeverria was just a smokescreen she deliberately left, using memories from her previous life. Alicia quickly finds someone not yet famous, but who will become renowned later. The genius perfumer Katrina. After a pleasant conversation with her, Alicia buys a perfume and extends an olive branch to Katrina in advance, hiring her to work as a perfumer in the future. Alicia plans to invest in Katrina in advance, but this is not her ultimate goal. After sweeping through the shopping district, she stops at an inconspicuous shoe shop. The owner is a middle-aged man. What do you need? Alicia replies, I'm here to order embroidery. Judith, there's a customer. It turns out there's an embroidery workshop hidden on the second floor of the shoe shop. With light footsteps, a girl with silver hair appears. If you want to see embroidery, please come upstairs. Judith apologizes while tidying the embroidery thread on the table. It's a bit messy here. I'll tidy up right away. Please wait a moment. Alicia reassures with a smile. It's fine. It's already very tidy here. Sorry to keep you waiting. My name is Judith Perlman. I haven't had much education, so I don't know if this greeting is proper. Alicia also introduces herself. I heard your embroidery skills are outstanding, so I'd like to place a batch order with you. Speaking, she signals Daisy to open the box. These are the designs. Can you make them? Judith takes them. This poses no difficulty for her. She's about to agree, when her gaze suddenly stops on the writing on the second page. At this moment, Alicia also softly instructs Daisy to leave first. As soon as Daisy leaves, Judith clenches the designs tightly. Her eyes instantly burst with sharp killing intent. Alicia shows no fear, don't worry. Only I know about this. I deliberately took many detours to get here. Before she finishes speaking, Judith swings scissors at her. Who are you really? Alicia reacts extremely quickly. She precisely strikes the meridian on her wrist with the fan handle. The scissors fly from her hand. Me? Probably the most famous person in the capital right now. Judith's arm goes numb from the shock. Alicia explains solemnly, I have no hostility toward you. I just want to become your friend. The Croa clan. 8 years ago, the Croa clan was wiped out. At that time, 6 fires of unknown cause occurred near the capital. And Judith is the only survivor of one branch of the Kiara Way. For years, she is hidden in this small workshop. Now this richly dressed young lady before her has torn open the wounds of her past right in front of her. Shut up! Judith suddenly draws a blade and points it at Alicia, warning, leave here now. The Croa clan no longer exists. Alicia slightly raises her head. Her tone remains calm, but her words are as sharp as a blade. If you keep running away, it will truly disappear from this world. What do you know? Judith's anger is instantly ignited, but the next second, Alicia's words make her freeze completely. I know who betrayed the Croa. Judith, I'll help you get revenge. Judith asks tremblingly why. Didn't I say? I want to become your friend. A friend who can help each other. Though the Croa clan claimed publicly to be led by 6 people, there was actually another hidden faction. They betrayed the entire Croa clan. Judith is full of disbelief. Is what you're saying true? If you want to know if my words are true, verify it yourself. But you need to be quick. If you drag this out, you'll die too. Judith's heart tightens. Has this place been discovered? Alicia doesn't answer directly but leaves an intriguing hint. I hope you can complete the order before spring. Soon after, Alicia, who is learning etiquette, receives an invitation from the imperial family for the title conferment ceremony. Meanwhile, in the palace, because the border unrest is escalating, Ricard asks the emperor to increase troops in the west. As they talk, the topic turns to his marriage. The ministers argue endlessly over seating arrangements for the title conferment ceremony. Even the emperor and empress had a cold war for 5 days over this matter. Since the capital has no information about the Count of Echeverria, people have been asking the empress about it recently, which annoys the empress so much that she takes it out on the emperor. Ricard, all of this is because of you. You suddenly proposed an engagement and insisted on granting her a title. By the way, how is that Countess of Echeverria doing lately? Ricard corrects. She's not a countess yet. I've already granted her the title anyway. What's the difference? Though Ricard requested this engagement, the one who pushed it forward was the emperor. He gave Marquise Rain no choice and finalized the wedding date. If you're worried your daughter is too young, then how about having the wedding in 2 years when she's 19? That should be enough time for them to deepen their feelings. Isn't that a good idea? However, why do you look so uneasy? Don't you like becoming in-laws with the royal family? Marquise Rain feels as if he's fallen into an ice pit. Even though he immediately adds that he's honored by this marriage, the emperor still finds an excuse to keep him in the palace. Though the emperor is happy to arrange his little brother's engagement, he's very dissatisfied that Ricard gave away Echeverria. But Ricard remains indifferent. I need to show some sincerity, don't I? Besides, she's the only person I can trust to give Echeverria to. After saying this, he gets up to leave. Instead of dwelling on this, you should deal with the rumors in the capital. Now they're saying I kidnapped Alicia while wielding an axe. Who told you to have a bad reputation? But it's strange, I clearly had them fabricate a romantic love story of the century. Ricard gives him a speechless look. This makes him feel somewhat guilty for no reason. Just as Ricard is about to leave, the emperor suddenly stops him. Ricard, once winter passes, it will rise again. You must be careful. After a moment, Ricard responds, I'll remember. After he leaves, the emperor sighs while looking at the empty hall. Little brother, what should I do? Butler Henrik has been waiting outside, your grace. How did your talk go? I got the reinforcements. What about Lady Alicia? I wonder if she'll come to Tessen this winter. I hope we can make a good impression on her. Ricard interrupts him. She's only 17, but she's not an ordinary 17-year-old girl. She's the one who wrote you a letter and proposed to you. Besides, she'll turn 18 after summer, which is the right age to marry. Didn't His Majesty say the same? Ricard pauses in his steps. His expression shows some impatience. Are you the emperor's spy? But the butler still doesn't give up urging marriage, your grace. You're right to stay vigilant at all times, but His Majesty has wanted you to marry for more than just a day or two. Your niece Josephine is only 2 years younger than you, and even she's married. You can't stay single forever. Enough, Henrik! I will not marry Alicia. As soon as he finishes speaking, a familiar voice comes from not far away, your grace. Ricard turns around sharply and sees Alicia standing not far away. Sunlight falls on her face, and she smiles brightly. Your grace, long time no see. Caught in the act, Ricard feels guilty. Did she she here? Alicia tilts her head slightly, her clear eyes full of confusion. Your Grace? Only then does Ricard breathe a sigh of relief. It's nothing. I just didn't expect to run into you here. What brings you here? Alicia says in a light tone. His Majesty summoned me, saying he wanted to meet me before granting the title. Ricard guesses that given his brother's personality, he'll probably threaten Alicia to sign a marriage agreement early, so he quickly changes the subject. Do you remember that cufflink? I said I'd find a similar one for you. I happen to have one at my residence in the capital. Do you want to come see it now? I'll explain to His Majesty for you. Alicia's eyes light up immediately, and she responds almost instantly, I want to go! Inside the residence, Ricard says, craftsmen in Tessen rarely make jewelry. I heard they were thrilled when they received this order, but Alicia's attention has already been captured by the gem. Its radiance reflects on her face. She didn't expect such large magical stones to exist in this world. Only when Ricard asks if she likes it does she snap back to her senses. I love it. It's truly beautiful. She can't wait to consume it. But Ricard's next words make her shocked again. It turns out Tessen has a diamond mine, and these gems are mined from there. Though it's called the Land of Death, it's actually as beautiful as heaven. Alicia immediately seizes the opportunity. Can I go see it? Just then, a maid brings tea and refreshments. Ricard takes a sip of tea, his tone becoming somewhat lighter. After the title conferment ceremony ends, I must return to Tessen immediately, so I probably won't have time to talk much with you then. Alicia knows Ricard rarely leaves his territory, but leaving right after the ceremony seems too hasty. When will you come to the capital again? Probably after next spring. If there's anything, we can write letters. Having finally learned the location of magical stones, Alicia doesn't want to miss out, so she asks if she can go to Tessen with him. Echeveria in the south is more suitable for wintering. You should go there to adapt. First, Alicia silently grumbles that he might as well refuse her directly. She wants to try again, but the next second she reconsiders. There will be plenty of opportunities later. She has no need to rush. I see. When parting, she remembers something. Your Grace, I've chosen the color for my dress. Ricard nods. I'll take it into consideration, thinking about how His Grace usually makes himself keep a low profile. Henrik feels somewhat gleeful. You can't just wear anything casually this time. On the day of the title conferment ceremony, Ricard asks Alicia if she remembers the procedure. After entering, just walk straight to the center of the hall. There's no need to be nervous because you're the star of today. As soon as he finishes speaking, the palace doors slowly open. Announcements and scattered murmurs surge in together. Is that Lady Alicia? It's hard to imagine such a beautiful lady got engaged to a demon wielding a battle axe. Wait, isn't she wearing Marguerite's rubies? I heard Archduke Tessen fell in love at first sight and kidnapped her. It looks like it's true. Alicia ignores the surrounding discussions and walks steadily toward the front of the hall. After the formal greeting, the Emperor smiles and beckons her forward, announcing she has become Countess of Echeveria, and Alicia responds respectfully. The Emperor's joy overflows in his words. Today is truly a double blessing. Not only do we have a new Countess of Echeveria, but my youngest brother has finally found his lifelong companion. Alicia, welcome to the royal family. I've also prepared a gift for you. As the box opens, Ricard immediately furrows his brow, because lying quietly in the box is a bridal veil used only for important imperial occasions. It seems his eldest brother is determined to bring Alicia into the imperial family. The discussions around them explode again. At this moment, the Empress suddenly speaks. Archduke Tessen, I heard that after the ceremony, you must return to your territory immediately? Yes, Your Highness. The border cannot be left unguarded. I must return as soon as possible. Separating right after getting engaged is truly heartbreaking. Then the Empress's tone suddenly shifts. How about inviting your fiancé to go to Tessen with you? In the end, Alicia embarks on the journey to Tessen. Upon reaching the territory border, knights from Tessen come to escort them. Alicia suggests she wants to ride on her own. At first, the knights don't take it seriously, because although Alicia rarely appears in society, everyone in the Empire knows the Rain family waited 200 years for this daughter. So in their eyes, this pampered lady probably hasn't touched anything heavier than a spoon, let alone ride a horse. But in the blink of an eye, their preconceptions are shattered. Alicia spurs her horse and charges out instantly. The knights can't even keep up with her flying ponytail, let alone protect her. Suddenly, the lead knight's expression becomes grave. He yanks the reins tightly and roars at a nearby knight. Go find His Grace immediately! Tell him Lady Alicia entered the forest alone. Then he takes another knight and chases into the depths of the forest. Soon, they find Alicia in the forest. Lady Alicia, this forest is a forbidden area, but Alicia seems not to hear, staring motionlessly ahead. Suddenly, a roar pierces the air. The horses panic and become frantic. The knights instantly draw their weapons and shield Alicia behind them. The magical beasts Kakan. They have wolf-like forms, but bodies as hard as rock. Damn it! The knight darkens his face completely. Protect Lady Alicia. We must hold out until His Grace arrives. While speaking, the two knights charge toward the beasts together. The metallic crash of blades against beast bodies explodes through the forest, just as one knight's spear pries open a beast's defense. The beast suddenly retreats. The other two Kakans instantly surround them. at a 3-to-1 disadvantage. His spear is knocked away violently and clangs to the ground at Alicia's feet. She bends down to pick it up. It is well maintained. Do you mind if I borrow it? Just then, the beast behind her suddenly opens its massive jaws. The knight shouts in terror, "Dodge!" But the next second Alicia vanishes into thin air. She flips backward and leaps, her body tracing a clean arc in the air. She lands firmly on the beast's fang-filled mouth. Alicia taps its body lightly with the spear. Their skin is too hard. Blind attacks will only ruin your weapons. Attack their weak points like eyes and mouths, and the gaps in their bodies. As her words fall, the spear in her hand thrusts fiercely into the beast's mouth. With a cracking sound, Alicia lands lightly. So you can easily deal with them. The knights are shocked beyond words. The delicate girl they thought needed protection just killed a magical beast with a wave of her hand. As if sensing a powerful enemy, all the Kakans suddenly redirect their target to surround Alicia. The two knights take the opportunity to regroup, but Alicia shows no trace of fear, only excitement for battle. As expected after learning the beast's weaknesses, the situation begins to reverse. She fights while glancing at the knights, as expected of Ricard's subordinates. They learn and adapt extremely quickly. At this rate, this battle should end soon. But just then, the spear in her hand suddenly shatters. The unexpected situation leaves Alicia stunned. Dozens of meters away, someone rides rapidly toward them, his muscles tensed. His massive axe flies from his hand. The instant cold light flashes. A magical beast is already cut in half. Alicia's eyes widen in shock. It's Ricard. He anxiously grabs her, his voice full of undisguised urgency. "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" Alicia stares blankly at his tense expression. She suddenly remembers the days and nights in hell. Back then, she curled up in darkness countless times, praying for someone to come save her. But until she learned to fight in the hell, and no longer needed anyone, this salvation she had longed for countless times never came. She suddenly smiles, "I'm fine." Then she points to the beast's remains nearby. "Have these appeared here before?" After confirming she's unharmed, Ricard breathes a sigh of relief. "Fortunately, you don't seem injured. We'll talk about the forest later." Roderick! Olivier! Can't the Knights of Tessen even protect one person? When Roderick thinks they must be punished, Ricard suddenly softens his tone. "I won't hold you responsible this time, but don't spread word of today's events." This time, Ricard doesn't separate from Alicia. He personally escorts her for the remainder of the journey, but as soon as they reach their destination, Alicia is sent to the Illegitimate villa. The reason is they're not yet married, and as a countess, she should reside in her own villa. From that day on, she hasn't seen him for nearly a month. Ricard is busy every day with official business and receiving visitors. Today, Baron Greitz is visiting. A man at the end suddenly turns around and runs quickly in another direction. "I heard she's just a naive young lady from the north." Sure enough, the security here is a mess. As long as I can infiltrate successfully, the rest will be easy. "What's this?" The man instinctively answers. "It's a gift to make the master of this castle a heretic." Only after speaking does he suddenly realize something's wrong. Before he can speak, he's struck hard with a hand chop and loses consciousness. Alicia picks up what he dropped and frowns slightly. There are really too many visitors today. At nightfall, the door is gently pushed open. A dark figure sneaks in. The masked man draws a dagger. Cold light flashes. Alicia's eyes snap open. The next second, the dagger is knocked away. "Do you know how many people have come since nightfall?" Her tone is languid. "It's fine if you come looking for me, but at least let me sleep for a while." The assassin first freezes, then smiles knowingly. No wonder the others didn't come back. So the future Archduchess is such a monster. "But this time I've made full preparations. I won't let you live this time." Before he finishes speaking, a new assassin actually attacks him. A familiar voice sounds. "I hope I'm not too late. Long time no see, Lady Alicia. I've completed your commission." Seeing it's Judith, Alicia looks delighted. "It was the right choice to entrust it to you." "You did perfectly," Judith responds joyfully. "I'm glad you're satisfied." She glances at the assassin on the ground and asks if Alicia needs her to dispose of him. The captured assassin shows no fear and instead threatens. "Do you know how many of us there are?" Judith's gaze turns cold. "Shut him up." The assassin immediately receives an elbow strike. "Who hired you?" The assassin remains stubborn. "No matter what you do, I will never reveal the client's information." Judith directly interrupts him and reveals that the person behind him is Baron Greitz, who has always wanted to use his daughter to gain power by securing the Archduchess position. Since framing didn't work, he's resorting to this extreme method. "Do you really think this plan will work? The Croa would never accept such a commission." "That's great, Judith. It seems you've become the master of the Croa." Hearing their conversation, the assassin is deeply shocked. He can't believe this young woman is actually the new master of the Croa. Alicia rises and walks toward the assassin. "Now then, uninvited guest, let's resolve the matter at hand." The next day in the Tessen residence, Ricard asks, "Did you kill him?" Alicia puts down her tea. "Not yet." "Good. I'll send someone to handle it. If you want to kill him, that's fine. Just to avoid exposure, the cleanup must be left to my people." Noticing Ricard's attitude toward her has suddenly changed, Alicia guesses he must have heard from the knights about her slaying the magical beasts, but a hint of displeasure still rises in her heart. "Don't you have anything else to say?" But his tone remains flat. This title ceremony seems to have exceeded their expectations. Such things may happen again in the future. You should take this opportunity to strengthen the guards at the Illegitimate villa. Alicia suddenly realizes that these assassination attempts are just routine for Ricard, though the emperor emperor seems to care about this little brother. Ricard likely lives his entire life under surveillance and restrictions. She sighs lightly. You can handle these matters as you see fit, but your grace, because of you, I've remained silent so far, but this seems to have given some people the mistaken impression that I can be casually disrespected. She taps her fingers on the table. With her fingertips as the center, the entire table shatters with a crash. From now on, I'll act as I please in my own way, although Ricard is branded a demon by the world. In reality, he has been confined to the Tessen territory since he was 14. Whenever the second moon lua rises, a hellish burning sensation sweeps through his entire body, yet his body gradually freezes as if turning to ice. His head feels as if countless blades are repeatedly piercing it. The intense pain makes him convulse continuously. Henrik's worried shouts come from outside the door, but Ricard uses all his strength to roar at him to leave. He forces himself to prop up his body. His vision blurs from pain. On the edge of losing his sanity, he draws the dagger at his waist and thrusts it fiercely into his arm. Blood gushes out. But when he pulls out the dagger, the wound on his arm instantly heals. Maintaining sanity through self-harm has become routine for Ricard. Otherwise, the overwhelming rage and despair in his heart would be enough to make him destroy every living creature before him. He stumbles toward the bedroom. This is the curse every archduke of Tessen must endure. There is no cure and no solution. Pain follows like a shadow until their lives end. Ricard occasionally wonders if, when the former emperor was alive, he had killed him with his own hands. Would he feel any better? Thinking he still has to endure 10 more days of such agony, he's about to go mad. As I thought, I should just kill everyone, he mutters curses. But his remaining sanity repeatedly warns him he can't do that. Every year at this time, he locks himself in his room, refusing to let anyone near. The difficult time slowly passes in such pain and struggle. This is Alicia's first day living in Tessen Castle, because the assassins switched to another method of attack, setting fire to the Lilige Villa. So until the villa is repaired, she can only stay here temporarily. She had wanted to take the opportunity to go out and hunt magical beasts, but Ricard explicitly forbade it, simply because the Tessen territory is not peaceful. Before leaving, he dropped an inexplicable warning: lock your door at night. However, the next day, Alicia would receive news that Ricard was ill. She's full of doubt. A man called a demon, who rumor says can still fight the next day even after being pierced by swords on the battlefield. How could he suddenly fall ill? Moreover, most of the servants' attitudes are strange. They show no trace of anxiety, and haven't even called for a doctor. Thinking this, she suggests going to see Ricard. Unexpectedly, Roderick not only doesn't stop her, but actively offers to lead the way. The room where Ricard is located is empty. Along the way, let alone servants, she hasn't even seen a single guard. His face is pale, showing complete sickness. From time to time, his face twitches slightly from difficulty breathing. He looks as if he's just been pulled from water. Alicia takes out a handkerchief and gently wipes the cold sweat from his forehead. She suddenly remembers that when they first met, Ricard had a similar condition. So she tries to imitate that day's action and gently holds his hand. Could being touched by someone ease his pain? But then why did he send everyone away? Late at night, Ricard staggers into Alicia's room. He stands by her bed. Alicia senses someone's presence and opens her eyes from sleep, Your Grace. His hoarse voice is almost pleading. I'm sorry, Alicia. You must be very confused, but please. Alicia sits up in a fluster. Ricard suddenly grabs her hand. Please don't let go. Alicia looks at him in confusion, because his expression looks as if he's about to cry at any moment. The next second, he collapses powerlessly into her embrace. She's completely stunned, softly calling his name. But in the end, she still doesn't let go, because his body is frighteningly cold. In the morning, sunlight streams into the bedroom from outside. Ricard wakes from sleep. For the first time in 14 years, the pain that has tormented him is perfectly suppressed. He doesn't quite remember last night's events, but the blazing fireplace and the hands held tightly let him roughly guess what happened. From their first meeting, he discovered that as long as Alicia touched him, his pain would disappear. During this time, he clearly knew this fact yet deliberately avoided her. Now, he has no choice but to give up struggling, because she is his only salvation. Ricard gently touches her cheek with the back of his hand. Seeing she seems about to wake, he quickly pulls back his hand in alarm. Before long, Alicia wakes. She barely slept last night. Suddenly, she remembers Ricard. His voice comes from the side. It's okay to let go for a moment. Ricard looks at her with a long absent smile. Do you want to rest a bit more? Alicia is still somewhat worried. Are you better now? He grasps her hand again. I should be asking you that question. Are you feeling unwell? Alicia laughs lightly, saying she's fine. Ricard falls silent for a moment before suddenly speaking. I know you must think I'm very strange right now. Alicia shakes her head. No, Your Grace. Rather than strange, I'm more curious. Can you tell me what happened to you? Ricard's gaze darkens as he slowly says, I can, but promise me you won't tell anyone. Though I don't know the exact reason, I'm bound here. If I leave Tessen, I cannot survive. This truth greatly shocks Alicia, but Ricard only calmly continues. Do you remember when we first met? It wasn't serious back then, but now is the most severe period of my annual curse. Seeing worry on her face, he smiles instead. Don't make that expression. I've already met someone who can change everything. Alicia's eyes widen as she asks who it is. When she sees Ricard smiling at her, She realizes in shock, that person, could it be me? Ricard puts away his smile, his tone becoming extremely serious. Just like the deal you proposed before, I hope you can accept my request. When I fall ill in Tessen, please hold my hand. He pauses and adds, whatever you want, as long as it's not the throne, I can give it to you. Although I don't care, conflicts with the imperial family are somewhat troublesome. Alicia finds it absurd, thinking he treats noble titles like pebbles on the roadside. As long as I hold your hand, you'll agree to any request. Of course. Then the sapphire jewelry, set at the Lillige villa? Ricard raises an eyebrow. Just that? In a way, it's already yours. If you want permanent ownership of the Lillige villa, I can transfer it to you immediately. Just as Alicia thinks he's agreeing too quickly, she hears him change his tone. However, I have an additional condition. As expected, she knew he wouldn't agree so easily. What is it? You absolutely cannot let anyone know you can eliminate my pain, especially the imperial family. Why? Aren't they your family? Ricard releases her hand. Because if they find out, you'll become Archduchess Tessen by tomorrow. Alicia doesn't understand what he means. He remains silent for a long time before slowly speaking. Alicia, don't marry me. Alicia stares at him blankly. Last night he begged her not to let go. Yet in a moment he says he doesn't want to marry her. In fact, Alicia can't say she particularly likes Ricard. There was certainly no love at first sight, but his words still make her taste the frustration of rejection. Perhaps because subconsciously she assumed that since they're engaged, she and Ricard would eventually enter a political marriage. So his firm yet somewhat gentle rejection makes her particularly annoyed. Just as her emotions are in turmoil, she's told that Ricard's curse has struck again. When she arrives, he's curled up on the bed, groaning in pain. Those gentle eyes looking at her seem to have lost focus. Alicia instantly rushes to his side. I'm sorry I'm late. She suddenly snaps to awareness. Why is she losing her temper with a sick person? Why didn't you notify me? When Ricard sees clearly that it's her, he immediately shows a weak smile just for a moment. I'm fine. Alicia sighs and softens her voice, asking what she should do to help him feel better faster. Ricard obediently answers, where your hand touches, the pain disappears first. So she places her hand on his forehead. As his breathing gradually steadies, Ricard tilts his head slightly toward her. Holding hands is enough. Alicia gazes at him quietly. She discovers he seems to become especially clingy when vulnerable. Ricard actively grasps her hand. At this moment, his expression is especially pitiable, as he begs her not to let go. Her heart feels as if something has struck it hard. Seeing him like this, her previous anger instantly dissipates. Through conversation, she finally understands that as long as she holds his hand, his pain slowly recedes. But once she lets go, the pain surges back. Ricard suddenly asks, why are you looking at me like that? Alicia speaks her thoughts. Because I think you're pitiful. Faced with this almost offensive remark, he doesn't care at all. His tone is gentle with a hint of playfulness. Then are you willing to stay here and keep this pitiful man company? Alicia thinks that compared to the brutal, cold demon of rumor, perhaps this is his true self. At this moment, Ricard suddenly pulls out an exquisite key from under his pillow. Alicia takes it and asks what it is. Ricard explains, this is the key to the Duchess's room. This means Alicia can exercise the rights of the lady of the house even while unmarried. And for this expensive gift, Ricard only says, I'll be in your care. This makes her feelings extremely complicated. On the 4th day of living together, Alicia asks, so Lua will last 10 days in total? Ricard gives her an affirmative answer while braiding her hair. But Alicia, why are you having me braid your hair? Alicia lowers her head and explains it's more convenient for her this way. Ricard silently grumbles that having them each use one hand to braid hair is not convenient at all. But the biggest problem is washing. No matter how fast Alicia moves, when she returns, she always sees Ricard in pain. Simply put, because of him she cannot bathe properly. Ricard apologizes with a red face. I'm sorry, it's all because of me. Alicia turns her head to explain. I'm not saying this to make you apologize. Fortunately, with the servants' cooperation, it's not too difficult anyway. Her braid is finally finished. Your Grace, may I ask you something? Ricard asks what she wants to know. Lua lasts 10 days. How did you endure this time in the past without me? Alicia looks up and asks if there's no medicine to ease the pain. Seeing his unheld hand suddenly reach for his waist, her gaze suddenly turns cold. She instantly pushes back the short sword he's half drawn. Seeing this, both freeze simultaneously. She reacted purely on instinct. Ricard immediately explains, don't worry, I'm not attacking you, so don't be frightened. Then he directly pierces his own hand with the short sword, but the bleeding wound instantly heals. Alicia is thunderstruck, staring fixedly at his arm, because this reminds her of herself in hell, unable to die. But Ricard doesn't notice her unusual state and continues, I use greater pain to temporarily offset it. Only now does Alicia realize that during these days with him, he not only doesn't eat or drink, but barely sleeps. She should have noticed earlier. His condition is identical to hers in hell. Have you been to hell? Ricard clearly didn't expect her to ask this, staring at her in a daze, just as Alicia regrets her impulsiveness. He speaks, though others call me a demon. You don't need to worry. I've never been to hell, and this condition isn't contagious. Alicia suddenly suddenly interrupts him, asking why he says this. Ricard looks at her with a very complex gaze. Because I don't want you to see me that way either. Like last time, as if you're pitying me. In hell, Alicia never felt hunger. Only after spending a full year there did she realize she had truly died. But she couldn't give up her obsession with life and forced herself to swallow everything edible. But her body had no reaction and couldn't digest anything. In the end, she could only give up and accept the fact that she had died. And Ricard's painful struggling appearance reminds her of herself back then. You remind me of someone. That's why I sympathize with you. From this day on, Alicia begins making simple requests of Ricard, like eating together. When Ricard hesitates, she threatens, "Didn't you promise that as long as I hold your hand you'd do anything? Should I demand you marry me immediately instead?" Hearing marriage, Ricard is frightened into sitting properly. "I'll eat." He shakily picks up the spoon. "Your Grace, does eating cause you pain?" "No, I'm right-handed." Alicia is amused. "Then you can sit next to me." With the condition of not separating, they slowly find ways to coexist comfortably. Ricard tells her many things about the Tessen territory and information about the imperial family. When only 2 days remain until the curse cycle ends, an urgent decree from the palace breaks the calm. It turns out the emperor wants his mistress Lady Maud to give birth in the palace, whose father, Marquis Manners, is Ricard's greatest political enemy. Marquis Manners leads the late emperor's old faction, rivaling him in the empire. If his daughter gives birth to an heir in the palace, this fragile power balance will completely collapse. Early the next morning, Ricard prepares to rush back to the capital. Unexpectedly, Alicia follows. She smiles innocently, which makes him inexplicably nervous. Alicia actively takes his hand, using the curse as a reason to demand to accompany him. Ricard is about to refuse, when intense pain shoots through his head. He holds his breath and endures the pain. The next second, Alicia has already wrapped him in a tight embrace. "Do you feel better?" Ricard freezes for a moment, then nods stiffly, saying he feels much better. Alicia gently strokes his cheek. "I guess the larger the contact area, the better the effect. It seems true now. So in emergencies, I think we can use this method, despite his repeated objections." In the end, Alicia gets on the carriage. In fact, he finds it hard to refuse her anyway. The night before, Alicia learned the reason for the urgent decree from Judith. The emperor has been on the throne for years without a son, and the sudden revelation of his mistress' pregnancy causes an uproar in the capital. Recalling Ricard is simply to stabilize the situation and throw the problem of offending people onto him. So Alicia makes a new prediction. Regardless, this is His Majesty's first child. There's no need to dampen his spirits, so you only need to express sincere blessings. The carriage suddenly jolts violently, and Alicia falls forward. Ricard just catches her and hears her continue. When the next season arrives, His Majesty will welcome his first princess. Alicia waits for his response, but Ricard only stares blankly at her. Only after a few seconds do they realize they're embracing. They quickly separate. It seems their hearts are pounding wildly, and they can't help but blush. A few days later, they finally arrive at the palace. The arrival of Archduke Tessen makes the already tense atmosphere even heavier. Only Alicia can sense that Ricard actually has a quite good mood at this moment. Under the attendant's guidance, Alicia bids farewell to Ricard and reminds him once more not to forget what she said. Inside the meeting room, everyone is engaged in heated debate over whether to let Lady Maud reside in the palace. Only children born in the palace can receive imperial recognition. Just as the emperor is about to explode, the attendant announces loudly, "Archduke Tessen arrives." Everyone is prepared for Ricard to firmly oppose, because no one values imperial order more than he does. But the emperor suddenly widens his eyes, staring fixedly at his little brother's face, though his mind is full of questions. He first poses the question, "Archduke Tessen, what is your view?" Ricard smiles, "Your Majesty, congratulations on welcoming your first child." Hearing this, the emperor looks incredulous. Though he urgently summoned Ricard, he had already prepared for his stubborn brother to vote against it. Yet not only does Ricard not oppose, he even proposes letting Lady Maud enter the palace as soon as possible. Marquis Manners is about to express his gratitude excitedly, but is stopped by Ricard, raising his hand. "I heard that lady is already 8 months pregnant. It's better to enter the palace early to rest. With an heir, the empire will be more stable." Several members of the royal family immediately voice objections, unable to understand why he suddenly changed his attitude. Then Ricard shifts his tone. "Though I'm happy for His Majesty having an heir, it's an undeniable fact that the first imperial offspring was conceived outside the palace. If it's a firstborn son, succession rights can be discussed later. If it's a firstborn daughter, then cancel her right to the throne. How about that? Though imperial law doesn't limit succession rights by gender, there has never been a precedent of a princess ascending the throne since the founding of the empire. Most importantly, Alicia told him that the emperor's first prince would definitely be born to the empress. At this moment, Alicia stands before the empress's portrait, Eleanor, the most beautiful woman in the entire empire. She not only has stunning beauty but also a beautiful voice, She's praised by the world as the sea fairy lady. The emperor was once one of her most ardent suitors, but this love story praised by the world lasted only 9 years. Lady Alicia? She turns at the sound, and the attendant bows to report, Her Majesty summons you. Even knowing her husband's mistress is pregnant, the empress still maintains a dignified smile. However, this false mask is torn off on the spot by Alicia. In the end, the emperor takes Marquise Manor's daughter as a concubine, though the current emperor has a harem. In reality, he was forced by ministers to take concubines due to the succession issue. He has never set foot in those palaces. Everyone knows how much the emperor treasures the empress. Unfortunately, they never had children. Until this scandal broke 10 days ago, Eleanor had long anticipated this day. So when the emperor was still crown prince, she refused him for 4 full years, and they've been married 9 years without children. She also knew he would sooner or later take other women for heirs. Tears well up in her eyes. Unwillingness and anger in her heart make her growl. This empress who maintains perfection finally shows dissatisfaction with her husband for the first time. How could he do this to me? Alicia grasps her trembling hand. Please accept this. Eleanor shows a confused expression. Candy? Yes. When you're in a bad mood, eating one can help stabilize your emotions. Eleanor actually listens and eats the candy. The unexpected interlude helps her regain composure. Lady Alicia, why are you really here? Alicia knows that though some twists will occur in the future, the crown prince will ultimately be born to the empress. But Eleanor eventually suffers severe psychological problems from excessive worry and almost never appears publicly again. Alicia can't bear to see her decline like this. In the past, I too was hurt because of my pride, thinking I had no one to confide in and could only hide. But later I fell into deep regret. If only I had tried to take the first step then, I wouldn't have missed their care. Eleanor thought Alicia just wanted to be on good terms with her, but her next words make her furious. So please try to be honest with His Majesty. A feeling of being humiliated surges in her heart. Alicia, have you ever wanted to die because your pride was hurt? I know maintaining the Empress's dignity and pride is important, but at least in front of His Majesty, I hope you can show your true self. If you don't let him see your hardship, he'll just keep hesitating, and you're still beautiful. Now, even crying, you're as beautiful as the sea fairy lady. You mean I should cry in front of His Majesty? Yes, His Majesty will surely understand, and I guarantee he'll be heartbroken. Your Majesty, regardless, difficulties will eventually pass. Please take care of yourself. I'll come visit you again, soon. Alicia walks out of the Empress's palace expressionless. The rift between the Emperor and Empress has formed. The past cannot be undone. She can only advise them to resolve their differences. Besides, nobles having mistresses is not uncommon. Even if she can ease Eleanor's pain just a little, it's worthwhile. If she hadn't returned to 17, she probably would have been engaged to Gregory already, though his scandal would break soon after. Alicia sighs lightly. She suddenly remembers what Ricard said, "Don't marry me." It makes her wonder if he has another lover. At this moment, a familiar voice suddenly comes from behind. Who says I have another lover? Alicia turns around and sees it's Ricard. He came to find her as soon as the meeting ended. Alicia feels somewhat embarrassed, not expecting him to hear her words. However, she also learns he currently has no so-called lover. Ricard asks how the Empress is. Alicia sighs lightly. She's truly someone who embodies both elegance and intelligence. Hearing Ricard ask if she's going to visit the concubine now, Alicia doesn't understand. Why would I go there? If you only visit the Empress and leave immediately, people will probably find it strange. Alicia smiles cunningly. I have no need to establish a relationship with a concubine, seeing she still has that confident appearance. Ricard unconsciously smiles as well. The next second, seeing she's a bit cold, he takes off his coat and drapes it over her. At the same time, the Emperor has developed some suspicions about Alicia. His wife and brother's words and actions have been quite different from usual recently, and the only variable during this time is Alicia. Are you two some kind of fraud couple? Ricard picks up his teacup and takes an unhurried sip, saying flatly, I'm not married. The Emperor immediately retorts, but you have a fiancé. Engagement doesn't equal marriage. Suddenly, the Emperor sighs. Your fiancé visits the Empress every day. Eleanor is quite fond of her. It is too strange. I heard she just gave Eleanor a few candies. Ricard asks back if there's a problem with this. In fact, the Emperor has been going crazy lately. He feels everything lately seems strange. After all, his little brother, who has been extremely principled about everything since childhood, suddenly he became smooth and worldly. The Emperor is certain it's his fiancée who changed him. On the surface, Alicia is no different from an ordinary noble lady, except her attitude toward the Empress and concubine is completely different from others. The Emperor thinks he must find time to meet her alone. At this time, Alicia is also told that rumors targeting her have suddenly spread through the capital's social circles. Rumors say the future Archduchess is not only arrogant and willful, but also frequently speaks maliciously. After investigating, Judith discovers the source of the rumors is the concubine's sister, Marquise Manner's third daughter, Viviana. Recently, Alicia has been learning embroidery from Judith, but clearly she has no talent for it. So this rumor makes her increasingly annoyed. Honestly, it's really irritating. She feels it's necessary to give Viviana a warning. Judith, send Viviana a bouquet of flowers in my name, white calla lilies, both a blessing flower commonly used at weddings, and a mourning flower used to decorate coffins at funerals, symbolizing the beginning and end of life. Receiving the flowers, Viviana angrily smashes them on the ground. How dare a woman from the north disrespect me so crudely? Rumors about Alicia escalate. Wherever she goes, people stare at her with strange looks. Though she doesn't care, their constant buzzing in her ears makes her very irritated inside. Suddenly, faint sobbing comes from nearby. Alicia curiously peeks. She hears a voice sobbing. I truly wanted to get along well with her, but she won't even look at me. Wait, is that person talking about her? The attendant leading the way suddenly looks at her nervously. Only then does Alicia realize she's the subject of the gossip. After listening a bit more, she knows this person is Viviana. Just because she didn't visit the concubine, this family has latched onto her, but she doesn't intend to deal with it and turns to leave. After all, rushing out to argue now would only make her look equally foolish. But just as she's about to leave, Viviana starts another unreasonable accusation. Alicia struggles to suppress her murderous impulse. This isn't hell. She must restrain herself. But what Viviana says next ignites her fury. She stopped me and slapped me hard. With a loud crash, the wall cracks. Damn patience. To hell with it. Though she doesn't plan to kill, she must teach her a lesson. Alicia's cold voice sounds, "You said I slapped you hard?" Viviana, pretending to cry, turns around in panic. Seeing it's Alicia, she immediately puts on an arrogant expression. I don't know what this lady is talking about. The next second, Alicia raises her hand. With a crisp slap, Viviana falls to the ground. I normally disdain to deal with such nonsense, but what just entered my ears is absurdly laughable. Oh, by the way, just now I used less than 10% of my strength. Get up, Lady Viviana. This time I'll use my full strength. But Viviana has already been knocked unconscious by her slap. And this scene is witnessed by the Emperor. Already suspicious of Alicia, he decides to personally intervene in this matter. After waking, Viviana cries non-stop and glares viciously at Alicia from time to time. Marquise Manners arrives first. Next is Alicia's father. He doesn't even give his daughter a glance and sits directly next to Marquise Manners. At this moment, the door is roughly pushed open, and hurried, flustered footsteps rapidly approach. Ricard arrives breathlessly. Before Alicia can speak, he grabs her. Alicia, did you kill someone? She's instantly speechless. After receiving her negative answer, Ricard's tense nerves relax slightly, since they're not dead. Was that person severely injured by you? Does that person still maintain human form? Seeing what he says becomes more ridiculous, Alicia abruptly interrupts him. The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. They can hardly believe that Archduke Tessen, who smashed enemy heads like sand dolls on the western battlefield, would describe his fiancée as so terrifying. Ricard, completely unaware of their shock, says to Alicia, "It seems there's some misunderstanding. After all, if you really hit someone, there wouldn't even be a body left." Alicia is nearly driven mad by him. She thinks he must be here to cause trouble. At this moment, the Emperor finally speaks. Archduke Tessen, the victim is not seriously harmed. Please sit down first. As the relevant people arrive, the Emperor formally begins the investigation. The maid who led the way recounts what happened. Lady Alicia said she only used 10% of her strength, yet Lady Viviana fainted directly. The situation is very unfavorable for Alicia. After all, Viviana only spread rumors, while she actually struck someone in public. So she must prove that Viviana is the culprit behind spreading the rumors. After living with Ricard for so long, she almost forgot how fragile nobles are. Ricard notices her gaze, and inexplicably feels a chill. The Emperor silently observes their actions. His little brother never speaks carelessly, dull and lacking humor. To see him so panicked is truly interesting. Lady Alicia, do you have anything to say in your defense? Just as she's about to speak, the door opens again. It's the Empress. The Emperor takes her hand. When such things happen in the palace, it's proper for the Empress to preside over the hearing. I've entrusted her to investigate jointly. Viviana panics inside. Just thinking she's doomed, she hears the Empress sternly rebuke Alicia. It is shameful behavior to use violence in the palace. I don't want to hear any excuses. Hearing this, Viviana feels triumphant inside. She thought Alicia and the Empress had such a good relationship. It seems the Empress doesn't dare offend her sister either. Once her sister gives birth to an heir, just as she's secretly pleased, the Empress's tone shifts, of course. I'm not saying Viviana did right either. With the concubine about to give birth, as her sister, you've caused such big trouble. Viviana immediately puts on a victim's attitude, Your Majesty. I'm so wronged. Lady Alicia not only ignores me, but has hit me repeatedly. Then can you state where the incidents occurred? Viviana seems to have been waiting for this, of course. The first time was in the morning. I was going from the rear palace to Eastern Garden. Lady Alicia blocked my path and hit me for no reason. But the next second, the Empress exposes her lie. In fact, I've already investigated. You only passed each other. Both gardeners and maids provided identical testimony. Viviana panics and explains she remembered wrong. The Empress continues, according to you, Lady Alicia slapped you with full force. Yes. It hurt terribly. Even the doctor said I almost went blind. The Empress still maintains a gentle tone, I see. Since it's so serious, let's summon the doctor who treated you now. Viviana is dumbfounded. What doctor does she have? My attendants can testify. Why trouble the doctor? The Empress directly interrupts her. Does that doctor really exist? Marquise Manners realizes something's wrong, but it's too late to stop his daughter. Viviana's face contorts. It's unfair. Why am I the only one being judged? Everyone knows Alicia visits the Empress's palace every day. You've been biased toward her from the start. The Empress still has a smile on her face, but her tone has completely changed. Lady Viviana, are you accusing me or questioning imperial law? Marquise Manners quickly steps forward to protect his daughter. Your Majesty, please forgive her. She doesn't quite understand palace rules. The Emperor suddenly speaks, his tone teasing. She has been living in the palace so long yet not understanding rules. Marquise Manners, that's truly a terrible excuse. Your daughter changed her story multiple times. Besides her companions, there are no other witnesses or evidence, yet she still insists she was repeatedly hit by Lady Alicia. Then there's only one way to prove it. Just now, many witnessed Lady Alicia saying she only used 10% of her strength. Your daughter said she used full force. Then let Lady Alicia use full force and hit once more. Let's see what happens. Only now does Marquis Manners truly realize they provoked the wrong person. Even Archduke Tessen described his fiancée such that if she strikes, the opponent absolutely cannot survive. How dare he let his daughter provoke Alicia again? So he restrains Viviana and sternly scolds her, telling her to apologize immediately. More shocking than the lie being exposed is the Emperor's attitude. From today until the concubine gives birth, all members of the Marquise Manners family are forbidden to set foot in the rear palace. Viviana screams unwillingly. But I'm the child's aunt. My sister will worry if I suddenly disappear. The Emperor suddenly stops. Enough. Are you threatening me? The concubine will have problems if she doesn't see you? Marquise Manners. From today, without my permission, Viviana is forbidden to attend any public occasions. The Emperor dismisses everyone, except Ricard and Alicia. His previous coldness instantly dissipates. At this moment, he's gentle as if he's a different person. I hope you can marry soon. This is my sincere wish. Hearing this, Ricard's expression instantly turns grave. He leads Alicia quickly out of the palace. From today, don't go to the Empress's palace anymore. His Majesty has his eye on you. Seeing Alicia being in confusion, Ricard lowers his voice to explain that His Majesty has always been unreasonably suspicious of those with power. At this moment, someone calls out to them. It's Alicia's father, Marquis Rain. Her luck today is truly terrible. However, the rebuke she anticipated doesn't come. Her father actually first bows apologetically to Ricard. I apologize, Your Grace, for delaying your schedule because of my daughter. Not only that, he also turns to remind Alicia to apologize quickly. Alicia finds it truly strange. Not long ago they had a big fight, yet now he puts on a loving father act. But she has to turn to Ricard. I apologize for the inconvenience I caused you, Your Grace. Hearing Ricard say it's nothing, Alicia immediately asks her father if there's anything else. Her attitude clearly says if there's nothing, leave quickly. Marquis Rain seems like he's been possessed. I just wanted to say you did well today. It's just that the other party has complex connections. You almost got into trouble today. She has many friends, and you don't. If you only rely on words, it will be hard to prove your innocence. Alicia really can't understand his thoughts and makes excuses to send him away. When getting on the carriage, Ricard carefully extends his hand. This time, Alicia finally doesn't ignore it, making him inexplicably relieved. But as soon as he boards the carriage, the curse suddenly strikes. Alicia quickly removes her glove and grasps his hand. Does it hurt a lot? Ricard shakes his head. Not really. I was just worried my fiancé killed someone. The emotional fluctuation made the voices in my head louder. Alicia is speechless. Then she guiltily looks away. Doubts fill her mind. The Emperor couldn't possibly not know his condition. Why urgently summon him? Ricard's tone suddenly becomes gentle. It's fine now. As long as you're by my side, I feel I can endure anything. But do you really have no friends? Being looked at with such a pitying gaze, Alicia feels somewhat annoyed. However, speaking of her friends, Daisy and Judith don't count. Those people she met in hell don't either. The Chimera can only be considered her pet. After thinking it through, she discovers she really can't find anyone she can call a friend. I don't need friends. Living alone is human nature. No, Alicia, humans cannot be without friends. Ricard asks this because before Marquis Rain left, he suddenly said he hoped Alicia would make more friends. His expression was identical to Ricard's now. Alicia suppresses her anger and explains, if a person is strong enough, they don't need friends. Your Grace, you should know this best, but I have. Though I have many enemies, I have friends. Ricard delivers another fatal blow. Alicia now just wants to throw this tactless man off the carriage. A few days later, the capital's social circles return to calm. Just as Alicia is about to go out, Ricard appears before her again.